Narayana. Om. Yes, friends, welcome you all. Hearty gratitudes, salutations. Hearty gratitudes. Today is Hanuman Jayanti. We'll have our chanting of Vishnu Suktam, Hanuman Chalisa, and then to our study of Shwethashwathara Upanishad, third chapter. We'll be concluding. We'll do the chanting of the entire chapter. First, Vishnu Suktam, Narayana. ॐ अथ विष्णुसूक्तम् ॐ विष्णोर्नुकं वीर्याणि प्रवोचम्य पार्थिवानि विममेरजागं सियो अस्कभायदुत्तरगं सधस्थं विचक्रमाणस्त्रेधोरुगायो विष्णोरराटमसि विष्णोः पृष्ठमसि विष्णोः स्नप्त्रेस्तो विष्णोस्यूरसि विष्णोर् ध्रुवमसि वैष्णवमसि विष्णवे त्वा तदस्य प्रियमभिपातो अस्याम नरो यत्र देवयवो मदन्ते उरुक्रमस्य स हि बन्धुरित्था विष्णोः पदे परमे मध्व उत्सः प्रतद्विष्णुस्तवते वीर्याय मृगो न भीमः कुचरो गिरिष्ठाः यस्योरुषु त्रिषु विक्रमणेषु अधिक्षियन्ति भुवनानि विश्वा परो मात्रया तनुवावृधान न ते महित्वमन्वश्नुवन्ति उभे ते विद्मरजसे पृथिव्या विष्णो देवत्वं परमस्य वित्से विचक्रमे पृथिवीमेष एतां क्षेत्राय विष्णुर्मनुषे दशस्यन्न ध्रुवासो अस्य कीरयोजनासा पूरुक्षितिगं सुजनिमाचकार त्रिर्देवः पृथिवीमेष एताम् विचक्रमे शतर्चसं महित्वा प्रविष्टुरस्तु तव सस्तवीयान् त्वेषगह्यस्य स्तविरस्य नाम अतो देवा अवन्तु नो यतो विष्णुर्विचक्रमे पृथिव्या सप्तधामभिः इदं विष्णुर्विचक्रमे त्रेधा निदधे पदं समूढमस्य पाकं सुरे त्रीणि पदा विचक्रमे विष्णुर्गोपा अदाभ्यः ततो धर्माणि धारयन्न व्रतानि पस्पशे इन्द्रस्य युज्यः सखा तद्विष्णोः परमं पदगं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीव चक्षुरा ततं तद्विप्रासो विपन्यवो जागृवागं सस्समिन्धते विष्णोर्यत्परमं पदं पर्याप्त्या अनन्तरायाय सर्वस्तोमोति रात्र उत्तममहर्भवति सर्वस्याप्त्यै सर्वस्य जित्यै सर्वमेव तेनाप्नोति सर्वं जयति ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं धनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपति प्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। ओम श्री गुरुचरण सरोज रज निजमन सुधारि वरनौ रघुबर विमल जसो जोदायक फलचारि बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिकै सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरौ कलेश विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कवि सदिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बलधाम अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नाम महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरण विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंजित केसा हाथ वज्र अरुध्वजा विराजै कांदे मोंज नेमु साजै शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाये श्री रघुवीर हर शिवर लाये रघुवत कीन्ही बहुत बढ़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावै कस कही श्रीपति कंठ लगावै सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि को विद कहीं सकई कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जान युग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्योता हि मधुर फल जानु प्रभु मौद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुमरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे हो तन आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुकल है तुम्हारी शरण तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज सम्हारो आप तीनों लोक हांकते कापै भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवै महावीर जब नाम सुनावै नासई रोग हरई सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावै मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावै सब बर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावै सोई अमित जीवन फल पावै चारों जुग बरताप तुम्हारा है बर सिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावै जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावै अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई और देवता चित्तन धरई हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई संकट कटई मिटई सब पीरा जो सुमिरई हनुमत बलबीरा जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई यह सत बार पाठ कर कोई छूट ही बंदी महा सुख होई जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा की जयनाथ हृदय महडेरा की जयनाथ हृदय महडेरा पवन तनय संकट हरण मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहिता हृदय बसहु सुर भूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय friends in today's common sense thought our learning will be keep put our efforts to what you say mm, control ourselves be victorious on our own selves win one's own self. That should be our goal now. Let us be victorious over our own personality layers. Let us win them. Let us master them. Let us control them. Especially the antakarana, you know, bahyakarana or the dehadi. So that much we can't control other than doing some exercises, etc. But the the diseases that have to come out of prarabdha, the old age, the death, these cannot be conquered easily, even though there are some yoga paddhatis for that also. But that's okay, we get another body which will be better than this. So we will continue doing sadhana, therefore, we will not that much worry about this Stula Deha. But then the other things, the Indriya Niyantrana control, Especially the antakarana, the thought flow, we have to control. We have to fully master it. Now, what is the mastering of the antakarana? What is the control of it? What is the nirodha of it? Nirodha is control. Chitta nirodha means first to know what is the meaning of the not controlled chitta. Then we know what is the controlled chitta. Simple. The not controlled chitta is not listening to us. I know. Controlled chitta therefore is listening to us. Where is that the chitta going, not listening to us, which we call it as not controlled chitta? Is very easy, only two things. Luckily, we studied the yoga, darshan, etc. That one, the chitta gets vikshipta. Second, the chitta gets into nidra. These are the only two problems with our chitta or antakarana which we have to control. Where is that chitta goes into the vikshipta avastha, where it gets tossed up here and there, where is it running amok, hither and thither. We all know very clearly it is in desiring, in working to get the desired objects, in indulging in them. है ना कामना काम्य वस्तु प्राप्ति हेतु प्रयत्न and then in that we are involving. Once the phala comes, whatever the vastu, indulging continuously. This is our mind is desiring one, desire another, working for it, getting it, indulging in it, again one more, again one more. In this way, vikshipta, thrown from one to the other. One object to other, one desire to other, one person to other. This is what is the vikshipta avastha of the mana, kshipta vikshipta. That has to be controlled. I know. And so simple it is to understand, difficult to do. How do you do? How do we control our mind from its running into the Vishayas, Kamanas? There are no two paddhatis, only one. That is the Pratipaksha Bhavana and the Dosha Drushti. Enough? Is there any other way for weaning away our senses and mind from the running into the world? Only one thing, dosha drushti. And what is the dosha drushti? Again, only one thing. Immediately, every of this kamana, kamya vastu prapti hetu prayatna, getting the vastu, indulging in it. Immediately, it may appear to give some pleasures, but in the long run, they are going to give only one thing called as dukkha. Thus, everything in this world, Jagrada Avastha mein, every obtainment, every indulgence is endowed with dukkha and dukkha alone. Sarvam dukkham. Ehi samsparshaja bhogaha dukkhayonaya evate. Adyantavantah kaunteya. Fifth chapter, we will see that. है ना? Anityam asukham lokam. Dukkha only. Dukkham sarvam anusmritya. Unless we understand clearly and accept that dukkha given by the world, we will not withdraw from it. And as long as we continue having sukha buddhi in the world, again we will not give up the world. ध्यान से सुनना, very powerful discussion we are doing. जब तक दुख दृष्टि नहीं है जगत में, we will not withdraw from it. And everything is giving dukkha only finally by creating raga dvesha, by not coming to us in the required quantity and by not being with us for the required amount of time. है ना? दुख ही है सब. And the word called as trupti is very difficult in the world. Better than trupti is don't even expect any happiness from the world. Don't indulge in that. That's why Atmarati, Atma Trupti, Atma Santushti is what is recommended. So, Dukkham Anusmritya. Nivartayet kama bhogat. Mandukya Upanishad. There is no other way. As long as we see Sukhatva, deep thought, listen. So long we will have desire and we run. Only when we find the dukkha in that, that we withdraw from it. And this continuously giving dukkha only. Dukkha and bhaya and ragadvesha and shatru mitra with the jagat. And each of these bhaya, ragadvesha, shatru mitra again are giving dukkha only to us. Right? Think about it. Coolly think about it. Principle is told. When we understand, accept the world is giving me dukkha, then only my mind can withdraw from involving in the worldly desires objects. Then the mind is controlled from the vikshipta problem. Think, isn't it? Second is the mind goes into layavastha. The only thing by which the layavastha can be reduced is by knowing and telling to ourselves that we are born as human beings to awaken to the Brahman, to awaken to the self, not to sleep. है ना? कि हम सोने के लिए जन्म लिए या परमात्मा को पाने के लिए? देखो, like the earlier thought, as strong as it is with us, that the world is the source of dukkha, that we are able to withdraw the mind from the vikshipta kshipta sthiti. In the same way, as much we are very clearly understanding and accepting that our human life most precious is only to awaken to the reality of the self through the study, meditation, etc., and not for the sleep very strongly, then only we convert the sleeping hours into sadhana hours, meditation hours. If the deep desire is not there, clarity is not there of knowing the truth, then the immediate quick option is चलो थोड़ा सो जाते हैं, चलो थोड़ा लेटते हैं, चलो थोड़ा आराम करते हैं, थोड़ा चलो रिलैक्स हो जाते हैं. Isn't it? The one who's sleeping, then how can he awaken to the self? To awaken to the self, we have to convert the sleeping hours into the meditational hours, the study hours, the contemplation hours, etc. So the Mudha Mana is conquered by the keeping the Lakshya of Paramatma. Shipta Vikshipta of the mind is conquered by knowing that the world is source of nothing and nothing but dukkha only. In this way, we have to focus on bringing our mind into our control. Okay, these are the two, the negative sadhanas. Sadhanas, one is negative, one positive. Another positive sadhanas to control the mind are the regular practices of these japas, the upasanas, properly done, consciously done, done with the clarity of purpose that I am doing it to master my antakarana, master my mind, to see that it listens to me. That when I say 27 times Om Namo Narayana has to be chanted, my mind should chant. While doing so, when I say my mind should be at the feet of the Lord focused, the Lord's charana should come and I must be meditating on that. To achieve this, I am doing japa, upasana. With this conscious awareness, when do, then the mind will be in the ekagra bhumika sattva guna. Going to nidra is tamo guna, running here and there is rajo guna, and the mind is with us and fully active is sattva guna. This is what our effort should be. Enough? Now, when we do so, the three benefits are what? Three or four. The first benefit is when my antakarana is in my control, I won't do the nonsense things to trouble the world and myself because mind is controlled. Second is all goals which I want to achieve in the world, I can do my best to achieve those goals. If that best doing is sufficient, then the success will come. But I can do my best. By controlling ourselves, we can do our best. The result depends whether the best is sufficient or not. So I can achieve my goals simple if my antakarana is in my control. Second, benefit. Third benefit is what? Ki, we can love the world properly. We can serve the world properly. We can deal with the world properly. We can relate with the world properly if our antakarana is in my control. है ना? Uncontrollably, when I have the desires, the angers, the jealousies towards the people, continuously I do mistakes only. One side I make them as enemies, second side, these all are papa karma, therefore they get accumulated to give me the dukkha in future. Instead, when the manta karna is in control, we behave well. We help the world. By that, what happens? The world also loves us. The world accepts us. The world serves us. They become friends to us. They trust us. Are they not great achievements in the Laukika Vyavaharika Jagat, wherein people love us, trust us, befriend us, help us when required, and know that we are a good person genuinely? All that happens only when we control our antakarana. If we control our अंतःकरण properly and behave properly, फैमिली में जो भी है सबको हम अच्छे लगेंगे, रिलेशन सर्कल में अच्छे लगेंगे, बीच में दोस्तों के बीच में सबको हम अच्छे लगेंगे. Isn't it? With that controlled faculty, when our behavior is proper, then only it's called controlled. That we are lovingly talking, we are forgiving, we are taking initiative, we are really, having all goodwill towards them. ये सब controlled minds expressions. मजा आता है हमें in our presence. People will feel so comforted, so happy. This is a benefit number three. The fourth benefit is what? With a controlled mind, all our anushtanas, all our upasanas, we can do very well. Thus, definitely and surely and soon, we can invoke the grace of infinite or the Devata or Ishta Devata for any of your sankalpas. Whether it is Arthakama sankalpa, whether it is any of the Dharma sankalpa, whether it's for moksha, Ishvara Anugraha invocation becomes pakka, sure. If we do the Ishvara Anugraha invoking upasanas well, which depends on controlled mind, controlled antakarana. So Ishvara upasana, Ishvara Anugraha, Loka Seva and Loka Prema, and Swayam Laksha Sadhana. All these are achieved through the antakarana control, and also controlled antakarana. We don't do negative or bad, so the world won't trouble us or we don't get miseries from it. And the fifth benefit is with the controlled manna only, the nirantara shastra shravana chintana, isn't it? Dhyana one can do and go deeper and deeper into the Atma Anubhava Marga, isn't it? With the properly controlled faculty, the Shastra Jnana becomes easier and clear, deeper also. Then those confusions, vaguenesses, then the disappointments that pura samajh mein abhi nahi aaya, all of them will go away. Because the controlled mind, controlled antakarana, we apply properly in studying each and every aspect of the Shastras and then doing sadhana. That gives tremendous joy. Tattva sadhana we are talking about. In this way, antakarana, our control, has five beautiful benefits. Let us day in and day out work towards that with proper planning. All other outer worldly things are not that much greater than this. Those who don't understand or accept this higher sadhana out of their ignorance and arrogance, they go for the outer achievements. But those who have understood it, they try this first through this. They achieve outside also, they achieve spiritual goals also. Without doing it, trying to control outer people, outer situations. Even if we succeed, it will be of no use because we have not controlled ourselves. And then, really, if we have mastered ourselves, no need to master about others, or because we are in such a loving behavior, really we can control, command others also if you need, if you feel like. And finally, with controlled faculties, while serving the Paramatma, while invoking His grace, we can improve upon all our abilities and capacities. Yoga Siddhya kehte hain inko yahan. And with the control antakarana seated in as vehicle, it as vehicle, we can even reach to the Atmanubhuti. सो देखो आज के लिए क्या एक्सरसाइजेस करें, हम क्या साधनाएं करें, अपने आप के अंतःकरण पे हमें नियंत्रण पाना है, उसके लिए निरोध करना है, उसके लिए नॉट नॉट यूजिंग इज निरोध इज यूजिंग इट वेयर वी वांट टू, इन अ करेक्ट गोल, इन अ पॉजिटिव गोल. Think about it. So today's common sense thought, we pondered over this seemingly important topic. Om, Om, Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsha ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. हिरिमे गुरुवे पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याता सर्ववेदान्ताः तान्नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्य कृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ॐ भवैव भवानिति मे नितरां समजायत चेतसि कौतुकिता मम वारय मोहमहाजलधिं भव शङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि. परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्री श्वेताश्वतर उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षकैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं अस्मिन् सनातन धर्म संस्थापने कंकणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिवकृष्णादि समस्त मंदिराणाम् आश्रमाणां पुण्यदिव्य क्षेत्राणां विश्वविद्यालय भूभागादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापन उपासना यज्ञयाग साधना सेवा तपस्या प्रार्थना दीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रूणां शाश्वतरूपेण निर्मूलनार्थं भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य शाश्वतरूपेण वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थं विश्वे मोक्षधर्म पुरुषार्थ प्रतिष्ठा विश्व संरक्षणाभिवृद्ध्यर्थं सनातन धर्मे अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्म भगवद्देवता गुरुशास्त्र सत्संग साधना सेवा माता पितृ देश धर्म सनातन धर्म भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः अद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. ओं नित्यानन्दं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्. ओं सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. ओं शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Om Atha Tritiyodyayah. Wonderful mantra, 20th. We studied completely. Just chant it. ॐ अणोरणीयान् महतो महीयान् आत्मास्य जन्तोः निहितो गुहायाम् तमक्रतुं पश्यति वीतशोकः धातुः प्रसादान् महिमानमीशम्. Every word is thoroughly studied. Atma is Anohaniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Atma is Akratu. Atma is Mahima Yukta and Ishvara. That Atman has to be realized. As what? I am Aham Asmi iti Sakshat Janat. Pashyati Chet. If somebody experiences it, Vita Shokaha. Every Shoka, every limitations go away. Then how? How? Two things only. How to achieve it? Dhatu Prasadat. One Dhatu Prasada meaning is Dhatu Parameshwara Prasadat. For that the Upasanas. And following the code of conduct told by the Lord through the Shastras. This is how the Lord becomes Prasanna. Lord becomes Prasanna by three techniques. One by serving the world, second by doing our duties as told in the Shastras, third is by worshipping Him with various upasanas, pujas, and prarthanas. Bhagat prarthana upasana, Jagat seva, and one's own following the duties. Through these three, Bhagavan becomes prasanna. So dhatu prasadat. केन तर्हि असौ पश्यति धातुः ईश्वरस्य प्रसादात् प्रसन्नैः परमेश्वरे तद् याथात्म ज्ञानम् उत्पद्यते. The Siddhanta Jnana, the sadhana, the anubhuti, yathavat of the Atman will happen when the Ishvara is prasanna and he says tathastu. See in our Skanda Purana, which will start from today, how many stories we saw when the Bhaktas asked the Lord for the Atma Jnana. Bhagavan said tathastu. Then they have realized oneness with the Lord, with the universe. So dhatu prasadat, one meaning. Second is dhatavaha indriyani sharira dharanat. Indriyas do the dharana, support of sharira. Because through indriyas only all we pursue, therefore sharira is surviving. Therefore the indriyas are called as dhatu. Therefore dhatu prasada is indriya prasannata. Then what is the meaning of indriya prasannata? Matlab vishaya dorshana maladi apanenatu. The indriyas are not at all going into the objects to grace. How do you do that? Vishay dosha darshana. The same thing which we saw in the common sense thought also. Having the dosha dushti toward these vishayas, when we don't go toward them, then the antakarana is prasanna. Like your own dog. You are giving it proper food at home. What is prescribed for the dog? है ना? Good food. अब अपना खाते वो भी खिला रहे. Then why should it go and graze in the kachra outside? To the indriyas, what is required, the divine theme, we are giving it, they are meant for that only. Then why should it go into the outer world for grazing and get itself malina yukta? That's why it's called as Vishay dosha darshana mala apanayana dwara apanayanatu. Mala adi apanayanat. So through the dosha drushti in the Vishayas, when the antakarna or the indriyas are not going towards them, then the mala in the indriyas of again the ragadi or even becoming weaker, etc., that is arrested. This is how we make the dhatu prasada. With these two dhatu prasada meanings practiced, that anoraniyan mahato mahiyanatma pashyat. The result is pita shokaha, all shoka, all dukkha, all samsara gone. One hint is given here by Bhagavan Shankara कि अन्यथा दुर्विज्ञेय आत्मा कामिभिः प्राकृत पुरुष. The most worldly type of person and kami, indulgent, By such person, this very sublime inner self, the Atman, is Durvigneya. फिर उसको रिवर्स करके पढ़ो. If the Atman is not known by us, realized by us, means what? We are the Kami Prakruta Purusha. So we have to purify ourselves. As we just know, sir, because of the Kamanas, always we are Bahirmukha. And in that effort, the whole Antakarana ka, Indriyon ka energy consume होकर, we become energyless, stamina-less. And then to become introverted, to go beyond the upadhis through such a sublime inquiry as well as sakshi bhava ityadi becomes so tough and difficult. Therefore, the Atma durvigneyaha, to such kami purusha who is bahirmukha, prakrita purusha who is vishahi, अन्यथा कामिभिः प्राकृत पुरुषैः आत्मा दुर्विज्ञेयः. So I'll continue to be a Kami and Prakrita Purusha. I don't want to know the self. Go. You are doing that only. What is special permission taken? Everybody is doing that. But you don't feel bad. Arre, when you don't feel bad for yours not doing sadhana, why should I feel bad? Arre, what is your relation with me? I don't feel. Do you feel happy if I do sadhana? That also I will not feel. It is for you. You should feel like, na, by doing sadhana, by growing spiritually, you should feel happy. For that sake, you should do. Who else will do it for us? Who will tell us why anybody should convince us? Tell, क्यों दूसरे मेरे को अभी तक how long we continue our बेवकूफी और मूर्खता that somebody should tell me what to achieve, what to do. अपना दिमाग कभी कभी यूज करोगे? You are like a Chinese fellow or what? He never uses his resources. He will attack every country and take all the natural resources. अपना ऐसे ही करते, यूज नहीं करते. हम भी अपना दिमाग यूज नहीं करेंगे. Use your own. कामिभिः प्राकृतपुरुषैः आत्मा दुर्विज्ञेयः, because he has no time, effort, energy, stamina to work towards it. There are two things. One is he will not try at all because he is lost in that. Like in some houses, the person is henpecked, totally listened to by. She says, sit down, there's no class, means he will not go only. Don't go to mandir. Then he will say, okay, चलो मेरे को मायके में जाना है. चलते रास्ते में फल ले लो, खरीदो. She will shout at him. He will go and get it. There are there. Or in any other relation, brother sister भी हो सकते हैं. The sister can dominate the brother. In that way, the kamanas will dominate us to push us into the world only. We are very slaves to it. If not those reasons of kamanas and nidra, why are we not coming to the classes regularly? Those who are not coming for them. And other sadhanas. Second, even if we try, we cannot. यहाँ जो पहले तो आत्मा को जानने का इच्छा ही नहीं होगा, because he is so much slave. Second, even if somebody is desiring to know self, remember, he has become genuine. I want to know the self, and he is trying. Still, he will not succeed if he is kami prakruta purusha. Then what to do? Dhatu prasada. Invoke the God's grace through all upasanas, and then through the dosha dushti pratipaksha bhavana, that sarvam dukkham anusmritya, the what is said here is the vishaya dosha darshana maladi apanena. By having dosha dushti towards the vishayas, in our antakarana, the mala, the vasanas, which were pushing us into the world, that we have to do the apanayanam removal. तो विषयों में दोष का दर्शन के द्वारा इंद्रियों का बाहर जाने रूपी मला, उसके पीछे मन में कामना, उसके पीछे चित्त में वासना रूपी मला, ये सबको अपनयन करना. दैट्स कॉल्ड धातु प्रसाद. शुद्ध बुद्धि. शुद्धियैव गम्यः. शुद्धि ही भोक्ता. पार्थो वत्सः शुद्धि ही भोक्ता. गीता की बात करें ना. So in this way, again and again remember, प्राकृत पुरुषैः कामिभिः आत्मा दुर्विज्ञेय. इस कामना में फंसा है, मतलब कामना है देर इन द उपाधि ओनली ना. सो उपाधियों में फंसा हुआ बंदा बियॉन्ड दैट वाला परमात्मा का कैसा समझेगा? हाउ विल ही ट्राई, हाउ विल ही अचीव? नॉट पॉसिबल. सो दिस वाज द ब्यूटीफुल मंत्र 30 20. So the last one is also equally powerful. Uktam artham drudayitum mantradruk anubhavam darshayat. Tell to be to substantiate what is said in the earlier mantra, the experience of mantra drashta is quoted by Shruti Mata. Because कोई ना कोई example होना चाहिए. Like you work hard, you get civil services. Example. So this person worked 16 hours, 18 hours per day for those 6 months, and he just cracked. Now his rank is 1 or 2 or 5, 10. तो यहाँ मंत्र दृक अनुभवम दर्शयति उक्त अर्थ दृढ़ उक्तम अर्थम दृढ़. What is said to make it stronger? What is said are only two, three things. One is when you realize the Atman, then only all the dukkhas will go away. Anoraniyan mahatvamayana atma sajanto nito gahayam tamakratu pashyati chet pita shoka. Tamakratu pashyati vita shoka. So knowing the self, then only all kamanas, dukkhas will go away. Second is what? That self is known by dhatu prasad. बस इसको दृढ़ करने के लिए इन बातों को अनुभूतिया जीवन मुक्त पुरुष सिद्ध पुरुष ज्ञानी is quoted here. Mantra druk means mantra drashta means rishi. Anubhavam darshayati. What is it? Chant it 2 times. Om Vedahamatam Puranam Sarvatmanam Sarvagatam Vibhutvat Janma Nirodham Pravadanti Yasya Brahmavadino Hi Pravadanti Nityam. Again. Vedahamatam Puranam सर्वात्मानं सर्वगतं विभुत्वात् जन्मनिरोधं प्रवदन्ति यस्य ब्रह्मवादिनो हि प्रवदन्ति नित्यम्. So, in this mantra, Aham Veda, I have realized. Aham means me, Veda means I have known. This Paramatma, whose Visheshanas are said here. He is Nirvisheshana, but indicative Visheshanas. Anytime, remember, about the Atman, anything said is, they're all indicative, helping us for contemplating. He is beyond any of these indications. Okay, so indicative definition. ये है इस आत्मा को मैंने जान लिया. And about this Atman, ignorant people, like in Gita we are studying, ubhautau na vijanita atmanam. Who are the two who never know the Atman? One who says, I am the killer, the other who says, I am killed. Both of them do not know. Why? Atma is na ayamanti na hanyate. Taubhau na vijanita. So here also, such ignorant people talk about the Atman as Janma and Nirodha. Hanti and Hanyate. Hanti or Maranam Prapnoti. Or Jayate Mriyate. The Jayate Mriyate was the two things, na? Exactly same thought going on here also. So the ignorant people talk about the Janma and Nirodha of the Atman. But Brahmavadinaha pravadanti nitya. But the knowers of Brahman, like me, this person is saying mantra drashta. The knowers of Brahman, they never talk like that Prakrita Purushas who say about the Paramatma as Shatma and Marana Yukta. What they say that Atman is Nityam. Or Janma Marana Yukta Anatma, they don't consider as Atma. And Janma Marana Raita Nitya Brahma Tattva only, they know it as Atma. So they don't have the adhyasa of forgetting the Atman which is Nityam and taking the Anitya Upadhis as Atma. नित्य आत्मा को भूलकर अनित्य उपाधियों को आत्मा मानना रूपी अध्यास is not there in that Brahma Jnana is. Therefore, they talk Brahman to be Nityam, others talk to be Brahman to be Janma Nirodha Yukta. They talk about the Atman to be Janma Nirodha Yukta. Jayate Mriyate. Because they consider the Upadhis are Atman, which are really having Janma Marana. But the real Atman is not Upadhis, no? The real Atman is the inner Sachidananda Atma, which has no Janma Nirodha. Therefore, it is Nitya. So this is the very, very important concluding mantra. Let us see what Bhashyakara says. Vedaham etam iti. I am commenting on this mantra which starts with Veda aham etam. Okay. Veda means jane, means I know. Who knows it? Aham. So Veda aham means Veda jane aham. I have known it. I know it. This self. Know it as what? Ajaram. Which was there in the earlier mantra also. Viparinama dharma varjitam. Ajara means jayate vardhate viparinamate. That is not there. Jara means viparinam hona. After that jara avasthas viparinama, next is apakshiyate only. Anna? Like the fetus in the womb, asti. Thrown out of the body, jayate, out of the mother's womb. Slowly growing vardhate. Up to the age of 50. विपरिणमते between 50 to 60. अपक्षीयते 60 से आगे जाकर. Finally gone. Vinashyati. Shadvikarava. So here Ajara means Vardate Viparinamate Viparinama Parinama Rahita. That's what he said. Viparinama Dharma Varjitam. So Veda Aham Etam Atmana. The mantra. Mantra's bhashya it is. I know the self. Which self? Ajaram means viparinama dharma varjitam. Means modifying and becoming senile. That dharma is not there. Which was said in Gita very clearly. Same words. Next we are going to read that only after 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Second is what? Puranam. What is the Puranam? Pura api abhinava eva. You know, by using the word Purana, the apakshiyate named viparinama or vikruti or modification is rejected. So Purana means Puratanam. It was as it was there earlier, now also the same. Purana in Vedanta, meaning of the word Purana. Purana word used in the Vyavahara. Please, they are totally different. In Vyavahara, this word is used in Hindi and we call it as Purana hai. फटी पुरानी कपड़ी है, फटे पुराने कपड़े हैं, फटा पुराना चप्पल पुराना है और घर भी इतना पुराना हो गया. In Vedanta, Purana means Pura Apinava. It is the first before the whole universe. What it was at that time as Sachidananda. Even now it is the same. It has not become reduced. Like the clothes which you wear, which you buy, are not same after a few years. If you regularly use them. पुराना हो गया हो. आत्मा पुराना नहीं होता. पुरा अपि नवा एव. So in Hindi, Purana means Pati Purana ho gaya, useless. In Sanskrit, Purana means Pura api nava, it is the same. Please know the difference. So Puratanam, Puranam means. Then next word used was what? Sarvatmanam means Sarvesham Atma Bhut. सबके अंदर मैं जो हो रहा है ना, that is what is Atman. Sarvatmanam Sarvesham Atmabhutam. So Sarvesham Atmabhutam Sarvatmanam. Puratanam is the meaning of word Puranam. Ajaram means Viparinama Dharma Varjitam. That Atman I know, I have experienced. Mantra Drashta, the Rishi is telling his Anubhuti. Shruti Mata is quoting that. Actually, no doubt. When one realizes self, no doubt है. We have not realized, therefore we have doubt and confusion. इनको मिल गया, क्या फर्क है? कि they don't have any doubt. I have realized it. So Vedahamedam Ajaram Puranam. Then Sarvatmanam we have seen. Then Sarvagatam. Sarvatmanam means Sarvesham Atmabhutam. Sarvagatam Vibhutvat means Akashavat Vyapakatvat. He is Vibhu. Vibhu means Vyapakaha. Like what? Akasha. Akasha is all pervading. Therefore, like Akasha, he is Sarva Vyapakatvat Sarva Gatam. He is there in everything because he is all pervading. Vibhutvat Akashvat Sarva Vyapakatvat Sarva Gatam. Like the space is all pervading, therefore he is called Sarvagata. All pervading means he is there everywhere. And we try to see it as an object. अरे कहाँ है दिख ही नहीं रहे आप तो परमात्मा सब जगह बोल रहे हो. Actually, the thought is सर्व सब जगह पे परमात्मा नहीं होते. परमात्मा में सच जगत है, सब जगह है. सारा देश काल ऑब्जेक्ट्स आर इन दैट सत चित परमात्मा. See, that's why we, when we don't go beyond our own upadhis and realize ourselves to be Satchit, the whole thing is standing in this substratum Satchit. Only this fact is not realized easily. And that's what Upanishads are shouting at the pitch of their voice to communicate to us. So, Sarvagatam means Vibhutvat, Akashavat, Vyapakatvat. Sarvagatam Vibhutvat. Vibhutvat means Vyapakatvat. Example, Akashavat. Vyatma is Sarvagata. It is Vibhu. What is the meaning of Vibhu? Sarva Vyapaka. Any examples are Akash. So Akasha is a Vibhu because it is Sarva Vyapaka and therefore it is Sarvagata. That is all pervading, is there in everything. Sarvagata means it is there in everything. Sarva Atmanam Kai diya as the core, the self. Then Sarvagatam in everything it is there again. Vibhutvad Akashat Vyapakatvat. Then Yasya cha Janma Nirodham उत्पत्ति अभावम. जन्म निरोधम. जन्म मीन्स जन्म, निरोध मीन्स उसका अभाव. यस्य जन्म निरोधम मतलब जन्म नहीं है करके प्रवदंती कहते हैं. ओ ब्रह्मवादिन ही ऑल द टाइम. नित्यम. नित्य मीन्स दे से द परमात्मा इज नित्य, देयरफॉर इज जन्म निरोध. ही हैज गॉट नो जन्म एंड ऑल अदर modifications also. Shankara Bhagavan says, Spashta Artha. It's very clear what is difficult. But we have seen yesterday and today also another meaning for this. What is that? Janma Nirodham Pravadanti Yasya. Here you have to add one word. Prakruta Janaha Ajnaninaha. So Yasya Paramatmanaha Janma Nirodham Prakruta Janaha Vadanti Ajnanina Vadanti तस्य आत्मत्वरः नित्यत्वं प्रवदन्ति ब्रह्मवादिनः. Be careful about it. That Atman, which is said by others as having birth and death, is to be said to be Nitya by the Brahmajnani, means Janma Marana Rahita. Okay. Now this we said again earlier. What is the meaning? If you reverse it, you will understand. There is something eternal and that is the Atman, this Brahmajnanis has realized. And other than the Atman, all the Upadhis, they have understood to be having Janma Marana. So they have realized the Janma Marana Rahita Atman. They know all the Shariradi Upadhis are the Janma Marana Yukta. What about the Ajnanis? Ajnanis consider the Upadhis as Atman. Upadhis have Janma Marana. Therefore, they say Atma also Janma Marana. That is why they feel when the body is born, they are born. When the body is going to die, they feel they are going to die. So, Prakrita people, we have not realized the Nitya Atman. Prakrita people, we have taken the Upadhis as Atman. Because the Upadhis are Janma Marana Yukta and they considered their Upadhis as their self, therefore they think they also are Janma Marana Yukta. Means I am the body. So when the body dies, I die. I am the body. When the body is born, I am born. But am I the body? No. Am I the self? But is that self has Janma Marana? No. So Janma Marana Rahita Nitya Atma is experienced by the Brahmajnanis. The Anatma is taken as Atma by the Ajnanis and they consider, therefore, the Atman has Janma Marana because the Upadhis have Janma Marana. That's the meaning. Spashtaha Artaha. Iti. Wonderful. This is how the third chapter. We took good time to study. Three more are there. We will study one by one. Them also. Today we'll do one round of Parayana. It is Srimad Govinda Bhagavat Puja Pada Shishya Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Srimad Shankara Bhagavat Pranite Shwethashwathara Upanishad Bhashye Trutiyodhyayaha. Chant the whole Trutiyodhyayaha 21 mantras. We'll conclude today. Tomorrow we'll start the fourth chapter. Om Atat Trutiyodhyayaha. ॐ य एको जालवान् ईशत ईशनीभिः सर्वान् लोकान् ईशत ईशनीभिः य एवैक उद्भवे सम्भवे च य एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति एको हि रुद्रो न द्वितीयाय तस्थुः य इमान् लोकान् ईशत ईशनीभिः प्रत्यञ्जनान् तिष्ठति सञ्चुकोचान्तकाले संसृज्य विश्वा भुवनानि गोपाः विश्वतश्चक्षुरुत विश्वतो मुखः विश्वतो बाहुरुत विश्वतस्पात् संबाहुभ्यां दमति सम्पतत्रैः द्यावा भूमि जनयन् देव एकः यो देवानां प्रभवश्चोद्भवश्च विश्वाधिपो रुद्रो महर्षिः हिरण्यगर्भं जनयामास पूर्वं स नो बुद्ध्या शुभया संयुनक्तो या ते रुद्रशिवा तनोः अघोरा अवापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवाशन्तमया गिरिशन्त अभिचाकशैः याम् ईशुं गिरिशन्तहस्ते विवर्षस्तवे शिवां गिरित्रतां कुरु माहिगंसेः पुरुषं जगतो ततः परं ब्रह्म परं बृहन्तं यथा निकायं सर्वभूतेषु गूढं विश्वस्यैकं परिवेष्टितारम् ईशं तं ज्ञात्वामृता भवन्ति वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तपसः परस्तात् तमेव विदित्वाति मृत्युमेति नान्या पन्था विद्यते यनाय यस्मात् परं न परमस्ति किञ्चित् यस्मान्नानीयो न ज्यायोऽस्ति कश्चित् वृक्षैव स्तब्धो दिवि तिष्ठत्येकः तेनेदं पूर्णं पुरुषेण सर्वं ततो यदुत्तरतरं तदरूपमनामयं य एतद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ति अथेतरे दुःखमेवापि यन्ते सर्वानन शिरोग्रीवः सर्वभूतगुहाशयः सर्वव्यापी स भगवान् तस्मात् सर्वगतः शिवः महान् प्रभुर्वै पुरुषः सत्त्वस्यैष प्रवर्तकः सुनिर्मलामिमां प्राप्तिम् ईशानो ज्योतिरव्ययः अङ्गुष्टमात्रः पुरुषोऽन्तरात्मा सदा जनानां हृदये सन्निविष्टः हृदा मन्वेषो मनसाभिक्लृप्तः ये तद्विदुरमृतास्ते भवन्ते सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् सभूमिं विश्वतो वृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुणं पुरुष एवेदकं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यम् उदामृतत्वस्येषानः यदन्नेनातिरोहति सर्वतः पाणिपादं ददा सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखं सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वमावृत्य तिष्ठति सर्वेन्द्रियगुणाभासं सर्वेन्द्रियविवर्जितं सर्वस्य प्रभुमीशानं सर्वस्य शरणं बृहत् नवद्वारे पुरे देहि हंसो लेलायते बहिः वशी सर्वस्य लोकस्य स्थावरस्य चरस्य च अपाणिपादो जवनो गृहीता पश्यत्य चक्षुश्च शृणोत्य कर्णः स वेत्ति वेद्यं न च तस्यास्ति वेत्ता तमाहुरग्र्यं पुरुषं पुराणं पुरुषं महान्तम् अणोरणीयान् महतो महीयान् आत्मा गुहायां निहितोऽस्य जन्तोः तमक्रतुं पश्यति वीतशोकः धातुः प्रसादान् महिमानमीशं वेदाहमेतमजरं पुराणं सर्वात्मानं सर्वगतं स्विभूत्वात् जन्म निरोधं प्रवदन्ति यस्य ब्रह्मवादिनो हि प्रवदन्ति नित्यम् ओम शांति 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 ओम 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 पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो परमश्रीभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। हरि ओम तत्सत्। ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु। Join for Gita in 2-3 minutes.